stand by for action.
Thanks for joining me. My name is Dave Milner. I am the Unpleasant Blind Guy, and I want to welcome you to part 3 of this episode of the Unpleasant Blind Guy on EDL Radio. Now remember, if you want to contact me with comments, questions, show suggestions, Awesome American suggestions, I'm available at UBG Contact on Twitter, or I can also be found as Dave Milner or Agador, that's Aggedor, on Mublet, the Tea Party Community, Spreely, Minds, MeWe, or Gab. Now let's begin. Now let's begin, Rhea, if you'd like to. This is something that I've done in the past, and I think it's something that works with guests. I hope you don't mind this. This is just going to be some kind of fun stories, not really too serious stuff. Okay, and I want to start out with something from the Daily Mail. This is this is a little something that came out. It was updated on September the 26th. All right, and the headline here is, "I don't name this ship Bodie McBoatface." Kate and William christen the 200 million pound polar research ship, the Sir David Attenborough, with champagne, despite 124,000 voting for the comic name instead. And I'm just basically, Rhea, going to read the subheads to this. Jeff calls them the bullet points below this, and you can comment on this, and we'll just toss it around here a little bit if you don't mind. All right. The first one is the British ship that will carry out research trips to the Antarctic was named following a public vote. The second one, public voted for it to be called Bodie McBoatface, which I love, by the way, but organizers opted for the RRS Sir David Attenborough. The next one here, Sir David was joined by the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, as the ship is officially named today. And the last one, Kate pressed a button to smash a bottle of champagne on the hull and officially named it after the broadcaster. Now, your take on this first, this name change, Rhea.
What do I think? Yeah, it made the news in the UK. It was kind of everywhere. And Boaty McBoatface obviously got people's attention. And I remember thinking at the time, going, well, okay, so, you know, if you don't like the answer, don't ask. And it's a bit like Brexit, really. They asked, but they just didn't like the answer. And I'm thinking, I wonder where they asked this. Was it like a newspaper? Was it like a broadsheet where the sophisticated people hang out? Or was it online? Because I'm thinking, if they put it out online, I'm guessing they were mainly young people that would reply. So I think it's a young person thing, Dave.
I do too. I have to say that obviously, since I work with Jeff, helping him out with EDL Radio, I'm a little bit more tuned in with the UK news than some others on my side of the pond. And I saw this story when it came out, and I thought, oh, that's just excellent that they're going to name it Bodie McBoatface. I love it. Just from the hilarity and the lightheartedness of it. And I really, as you said, that's a great way of putting it. Now, if you don't like the answer, don't ask the question. Okay. I love that the people chose to call it that lighthearted name. And well, what can I say? Sir David Attenborough has made a lot of great programs in his time, but that's not what the people voted for. So there you go. Now, here's the next one, and I hope you don't mind hitting the speed bag here. This may be something that you're a little bit unused to, and I certainly hope that you're having a good time here, a comfortable time. But here's another one. All right, now this one again. I took these off the Daily Mail, and Rhea, I do this because quite honestly, to me, a UK newspaper, and I hate to say this, is a UK newspaper. I say that from having studied media for 51 years now, and they all seem to be the same. There seems to be very little difference. I know that there was a time when, for instance, the Telegraph was more conservative than the Mirror and things of that nature, but it really seems to have kind of almost gotten into a homogeneity. I don't know if you agree with that, but that is how I view it. First of all, am I on the mark there at all?
There are nuances, but I think so. It's an ironic thing, isn't it, where politics and points of view, like left and right points of view, have become allegedly more extreme. There's no right of centre and left of centre. You're either extreme this or extreme that. But yeah, the paper media, I think you're right, Dave, is kind of much of a muchness, really. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's six of one and half dozen of the other, as we say here in the States. Well, all right, so this one also comes from the 26th of September. All right, this just got me because I'm going to be 60 on Thursday, and that, by the way, people, is why we're not going to have a regular EDL radio show on Thursday. I'm going to be 60 years old on that day, and I'm taking the day off. And Jeff has agreed with that, and we're going to rerun our 9/11 show on that day at the same time that we're usually on. Only this one is going to be the complete 9/11 show, starting with the interview that I had with Ken McClinton of TECN. And that was going to be the total thing, some of which you guys didn't get to hear the first time. So that you'll get to hear on Thursday. I will be doing nothing. Anyway, I'll be enjoying myself that day. But Rhea, as someone who is 59 years old and has some of the worldview of that, I find this next story to be a bit of a giggle, okay? Now, here we go. This is the headline. Vegan student, age 20, demands an apology from Greg's after being served a pork sausage roll instead of a meat-free version, which gave her a panic attack and left her, and in quotes, traumatized for life, end quote. Now, I'm going to read the bullet points. The first one is Charlene. Okay, I'm going to try with this name. No, I'm just going to spell it. Ndungu, age 20, says she was traumatized after biting into a sausage roll. There are all sorts of jokes there, folks, none of which I'm going to delve into because we have a guest. The next one. The staff at Greg's in Canterbury, Kent, mistakenly served her the pork roll version. The next one. The vegan student said she hadn't eaten meat in 2 years before the incident. And the next one. She claims she was offered a $30 voucher, or excuse me, a 30-pound voucher, my apologies, but is demanding a full public apology. Rhea, your take.
My take on it is, what is my take on it? So, yeah, I can see if, I don't know how old this person is, but imagine, this is where my imagination is going, or imagine this, folks. You're 18, 19, you're in university, and you know everything. You know everything there is to know, and no one's going to tell you anything. And everybody else is scumbags because they're meat eating and they're just sucking up good oxygen. If you're on that point of view and you have tuned into the identity of that kind of person, I'm righteous, I've got that kind of approach, and you guys, I'm just looking down my nose at you, and then all of a sudden you accidentally find yourself eating meat. I guess it would, I would love to have seen the whole, from the point she realised that it was actually pork, Dave. That's my take on it.
Well, that she is age 20, by the way, and I will not take a bet that she's a university student. I'll bet that she is. and she was offered a 30-pound voucher, which is pretty nice. I would think that she would want to take that and just move on and just, okay, if she's vegan, all right, she could just kind of go, ew, I may not want to eat there again, or I may want to check the next time before I bite into the sausage roll or something of that nature. But instead of that, she's choosing to virtue signal. And the thing that bothers me the most about this poor kid is that she's, quote, traumatized for life, end quote. Now, I'm looking forward here to the year 2060, okay, when she's approaching her 60th year. And Rhea, I'm really wondering if at that point she's still going to be traumatized from biting into a sausage roll in 2019. I mean, is it really going to affect her life that much?
No, it's that. No, of course it's not, because life's going to throw, like life does, throw some real swerveballs at her, and she will have forgotten about it by now. But think, if you can lunch out on such a thing, on a breach of morals and values, and become a bigger victim than what you already are, then she's probably going to take that. But life's going to just come round the corner real quick, isn't it? And just wake her up to what's going on. And like you say, you know, onwards and upwards, but if you want to use that and leverage that to become more of a victim, I'm sure you'll be embraced by your peers.
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure that she's riding this pony quite a bit. Now, this next one, Rhea, this is more of it's a gentle giggle to me. This one came out on the 24th. All right. The headline here on this is a gardener who asked the BBC to help him identify a mystery plant in his garden is told it's cannabis. Okay, now here are the subheads. Gardener Barry Thorpe sent a picture of the mystery scrub asking what it could be. The next one, Anne Swithenbank said it was hemp and that it is illegal to grow cannabis at home. Then the last one here is, she said it was likely germinated from birdseed and thrived in the hot weather. Okay. So, Rhea, I have to ask you, are there really people left in this world that are this innocent?
Do you know what? I don't know any.
Don't either.
I don't know any personally. I'm sure they're kicking around somewhere, especially sort of in some of the English sort of out the way places. And I maybe have met a young lady. She was a Methodist through of the Methodist faith through and through, and she was just waking up to the world. So maybe the odd person, Dave, but it's pretty nut stuff, isn't it?
It is. Well, it's pretty odd to me, Rhea, but I have to tell you, I'm actually glad to see that. It's a little bit refreshing, I have to say. It's a little bit refreshing to find someone that might be actually that innocent. And you know, I have to tell you that if you've seen a cannabis plant, which I have, don't ask me where, in your lifetime, then you know what it looks like. But evidently, this individual did not. And you know, I just love it. I just love the fact that this person had that kind of innocence, and I say God bless him. Now, Rhea, I'm going to play one here. Just to be fair, because we're beginning to run a little bit low on time, I want to play this one. This is from the United States. All right, this is a rather interesting little story. And if you like, listen, and then we'll comment on this one. This is 1 minute and 15 seconds long. Okay, and this is from Florida in the United States. So here we go.
Phil Farmini is not the only one in this neighborhood who loves a perfectly manicured lawn. But when his lawn guy was here on Friday, there was a problem.
Must have been around 7:30, and he's banging on the door, and he said, Phil, please move your car. I said, well, my car's in the driveway. And he said, no. He says, your other car. I said, I don't have another car.
A sleek white Tesla was sitting on his grass and sidewalk with an extension cord running to the home.
It was plugged into my electric outlet on my house.
Fraumeny's wife was at a theme park in Orlando with their grandchildren. He sent a picture of the ride to her phone.
And she said, "Honey, you bought me a new car." And I said, "No."
Fraumeny later called police. Deputies learned the car was not stolen and tracked down the address to the owner. Fraumeny says a young man and woman showed up at his home, and the man said he was visiting a friend in the neighborhood when the battery died.
From what the boy said, from midnight the night before, so it was 12 hours it was charging. The cop made it, "This is not something you're allowed to do."
Fraumeny decided not to press charges. His wife posted the incident on their Neighborhood Watch Facebook page.
I know I have outlets all around the house, and the big joke now, and I must have got 20 texts from all my neighbors, "Can we plug our cars into your house?"
In Lake Worth, Ted White, WPBF 25 News.
All right, Rhea, what is your take on this?
Okay, I lost it, Dave, about halfway through. Well, not even. I've only heard a tiny part of that, Dave. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then I can give you a base of it. Basically, this young man who has a Tesla automobile, and you've heard they're extremely expensive, and they can run like about $100,000. Was visiting friends in a Florida neighborhood near Orlando, I'm assuming, and his battery began to run low, so he parked his car on this gentleman's lawn who he didn't even know, and plugged his car into the fellow's house, and charged his battery off it for 12 hours without even asking permission. And I titled that audio "Tesla Bum" because bum as in tramp or hobo, not rear end. Because it just seemed to me a millennial, especially rich millennial thing to do. This sort of sense of entitlement that made this young man think that he could just poach energy off of this person's house that I didn't even know.
What do I think to it? I mean, yeah. Well, firstly, it's stealing, I guess, lawfully. But secondly, is how's he going to get home if he doesn't charge it?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's
just, you know.
Well, I mean, at least he should have offered to pay the man for what he took, as far as the energy. I don't know how much it would be, but at least be polite that way. Don't just do that stuff. Well, I do have two others to play, but I won't play them, Rhea, because you're having trouble hearing them. But those are just some of the little amusing things that I came across. And I really hope that I was able to, that I and Jeff, when, Jeff, again, wanted me to apologize to you because he couldn't get in, wanted to keep this kind of light for you and kind of give you a nice welcome into the show. And I hope that you'll come back when Jeff can join us, because he was really, really looking forward to this.
I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, I'm going to fit it in another day for sure, and so we can all do a hangout kind of thing on air.
Mm-hmm.
For sure I will, or round the other way, because I'm probably a bit better equipped to do it round the other way, really. So I'd imagine that would be more successful, where you just tap in remotely to the studio this end, because we don't have these kind of problems.
Right. Well, no, listen, if that would be, I know that I would be honored to be a part of it, and I know that Jeff would absolutely be honored to be a part of it, because he likes your style, he likes what you're doing, and so do I. And I have to say, your hosts, by the way, Rhea, are great too. I really enjoyed listening to Nanza, and now I don't know if he calls himself Dumbbell. I know he calls himself that in the chat. I really enjoyed listening to them. They're great hosts too. It really sounds like you're building up something fantastic over there at WBN. And yes, we would. I will answer this for Jeff. I don't often do that for him, but we would be honored at some point to be in just a nice little friendly hangout with you. And I really hope that you've enjoyed your time with us here on the English Defense League radio show.
I have. It's a shame that Jeff couldn't be here. Yeah, it is a shame. So I think we've got to do another one at some point for Jeff, so Jeff can get on board with this.
Mm-hmm.
I think is important. It's important to me anyway. So moving on from there, yeah, I'll bring you in remotely. We're geared up here this end to do it, aren't we? So we might as well utilize what's there and get something out. And I'll hassle Jeff to get, and I'm sure people listening as well going, Jeff, dude, you got to get a microphone, man. We can barely hear you. And you got to sort it out, dude. You know what I mean? So if you want to come on WBN, I'll help you out to get you a microphone. So when people do listen to you on EDL, they can hear you a bit better.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure Jeff will appreciate that. And you know the kind of lash up that I have. As long as I can access things and that kind of thing, I would love to be a part of it as well. But that's basically it. I mean, Jeff, I know would be very happy to be a part of it. And Rhea, I just want to say thank you for being with us on the show today. And with that, I think I'd like to go ahead and do our playout, and then we'll end the program with our very grateful thanks, Rhea. Again, I know that some people might give you a bit of blowback for being here with us, and I'm glad you decided to be here. I really am, and thank you for spreading the truths in the way that you spread them.
Yeah, no worries, Dave. Blowback. I don't get the blowback thing. I mean, just really quickly, right, about the EDL, because I don't know much about the EDL.
Mm-hmm.
Only like the derogatory terms that they open up Tommy Robinson News with.
Right.
Is I don't know what the EDL stands for, right? I've got a bit of Tommy's background,
mm-hmm.
but what the EDL does. So I went on the website to look for policy, which is a bit formal, I know, but
sure.
This is what we stand for,
right.
And I don't know what that is. I know what I like, mm-hmm. but I don't know what EDL stands. And I think that would be really useful. Just to be able to go, oh right, this is what these guys are about, and it adds that counter argument to what the EDL often gets used for, to jade Tommy Robinson's persona, as it were. So right. I think that would be really nice. Okay, Dave, thank you for having me on. And if anybody wants to check us out on Sunday Long Live Radio, it's 5 a.m. Eastern Standard, 10 a.m. UK, 7 p.m. New South Wales, Australia, and we're live every Sunday. Just type in your browser WBN324 or type in Rhea Bo D Live, and I'll be reading out your comments. And I'll say love and peace always. Thank you, Dave, and thank you, Jeff.
Well, Rhea, thank you, and I will be sending you the mission statement from the EDL over Skype here so that you'll get it, and you'll have an idea of what we're about. And we will definitely be with you, at your convenience sometime in the future. We will get this done, and I'm going to go ahead and play us out now. I want to say thank you to all the listeners for being here with me today and with Rhea Bo. I was a poor substitute for the host, but I know Jeff will be back with me on Sunday, and we will have a live show then. And you guys know that on Thursday we'll be on at our normal time with our the replay of our 9/11 special with the extras that you didn't get to hear before. So I'm going to go ahead and play us out with a little bit of a lighthearted play out this time. So everyone, be prosperous, be blessed, be vigilant, and no surrender ever. Here we go, guys. Here's a play out from our friend Brack.
Swing your partner round and round and go to town. Thank you folks for kindly doing stop and dropping in. Have a heap been helping of our hospitality. Goodbye, 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 everybody.
And that is it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for listening, and may your God go with you. Goodbye. The Unpleasant Blind Guy is copyright 2019. Anno Domini. Now for Dave's Canes. Extras that help you navigate the new media world.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
From a public locker inside a dilapidated Long Island rail station comes a show designed to piss off liberals using truth, facts, and ridicule. The Lid Radio Show, featuring the conservative voice from the People's Republic of New York, the Lid himself, Jeff Dunitz. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com. At Lid Radio, we fight for the truth, justice, and a good kosher T-bone. If you don't listen, Hillary Clinton might sneak into your bedroom in her housecoat late at night and blame you for her election loss. It's the Lid Radio Show with Jeff Dunitz.
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
The new show on the SHR Media Network, Sackheads Against Tyranny. On shrmedia.com. Go there quick like a bunny, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, every Wednesday. Live and direct on the SHR Media Network. shrmedia.com. Be there.
Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, a mere 2 miles from the state capital, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern, only on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com to listen. You can also watch on the SHR Media Facebook page and the SHR Media YouTube channel. No goldfish were abused in the making of this ad.
Hey girls, Carry Girl Gear is here. More and more women every day are concealed carrying, participating in competitive shooting, and getting firearms training. It's not a boys' club anymore, and we don't have to shop in their stores anymore either. Finally, a cool and unique clothing line just for women. Dope tees and hats for the patriotic concealed carry and 2A girl. So what are you waiting for? Go check out carrygirlgear.com today.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.